Game 2 of this Padres-Dodgers series was a little spicy, to say the absolute least. Fans throwing stuff onto the field, Padres players mocking the fans, Manny Machado inviting Jack Flaherty to fight him outside, and if you thought things cooled off afterward, you'd be as incorrect as if you decided not to subscribe if you haven't already and enjoy the video. There's been a whole new layer added to the Jack Flaherty Manny Machado subplot. So during the game, there was a moment where the two were seen yelling at each other, with Machado telling him to meet him outside, and after the game, Flaherty claimed he was yelling at Machado because Machado threw a baseball at their dugout before the inning started. But that doesn't explain why he told Machado to sit the F down when he struck him out, which happened before this, and I don't think we still have an answer to this. So I guess Flaherty was just really fired up and hates Manny Machado. It just kind of came out of nowhere, and Flaherty didn't really have much leeway to talk trash, considering his team was losing at the time and he'd given up 2 home runs. So Machado's teammates see Flaherty do that, start yelling at him, and Manny starts yelling over at Flaherty, who's walking off because his night was done. And then according to Flaherty after the game, what we saw was the tail end of an incident, and the reason he was yelling at Machado for the second time was because Machado threw a baseball at their dugout. Manny's explanation was that he was just throwing the ball into the dugout for the bat boy to give to fans and that he's already moved on. But he also brought up his anger with the Dodgers hitting Tatis, almost implying what he did toward the Dodger dugout was on purpose. Manny was asked if it's normal for him to throw practice baseballs into the dugout of an opposing team, to which he responded that he does it to both dugouts since they have foul balls, so you throw the ball back in there. But this is when he basically implied he angrily threw a baseball at their dugout, adding, quote, "I mean, when you try to hit our best hitter, right? Get him out. If you can't get him out, don't hit him, right? They have the best player in the game, right?
Right.
We don't go out there and try to hit Ohtani, we try to get him out. Don't go out there and try to hit my guy." Dodgers manager Dave Roberts spoke about it afterward and basically said Machado aimed at him when throwing the ball. Watch.
I didn't notice it at the time. I really didn't. I did see the video. It was unsettling. Obviously, I have a relationship with Manny from years past. There was intent behind it. It didn't almost hit me because there was a net, and that was very bothersome. If it was intended at me, I'd be very. It's pretty disrespectful. So I don't know his intent. I don't want to speak for him, but I did see the video, and the ball was directed at me with something behind it. So, but I don't know what led to that. I didn't see it in real time, but I did see the video.
ESPN reported that Major League Baseball had been in touch with the Dodgers security staff and asked for footage of the incident, and that video is right here as it was finally released to us all to see. It doesn't look like Manny threw the ball that hard. Like, I'll be honest, this doesn't really seem like a massive deal. The ball just bounces and hits the net, and then you can see Teoscar Hernandez get upset, which gets the attention of Roberts, who then starts saying something to Manny. Other Dodger players were saying stuff too, and then Flaherty went up, which is what we all originally saw after the broadcast came back from commercial break. My take here is I do think Manny might have thrown the ball a tad harder than usual to send a slight message since he was upset, but I don't think he intended to hit anyone. The ball didn't seem to be thrown that hard anyway. I mean, I don't know. I just don't really see the big fuss. Like, this isn't something MLB really needed to look into, so it doesn't surprise me that nothing came from this and nobody got disciplined. But let me tell you what did get disciplined in Game 3 between these two teams. Baseballs. Baseballs were not treated very well in San Diego. At the beginning of this game, at least. They were abused harder than your average dude at a Diddy party. The game began with Mookie Betts and Jurickson Profar almost copy and pasting what they did to begin the last game. Like, the literal same exact home run robbery almost happened, except this time Profar, who gets his glove on it, can't quite catch it. Meanwhile, Mookie, who was 0 for his last 22 postseason at-bats heading into this game, was just ready to accept a bad outcome for himself, starting to head back to the Dodger dugout until it's confirmed Profar did not catch the ball. Then Mookie's like, geez, alright, finally, they make the damn call. So the Dodgers quickly silenced the rowdy San Diego crowd. A Walker Buehler 1-2-3 inning would continue that, who by the way was robbed the night before this game at Santa Anita Park outside of LA. Apparently a whole mob surrounded him and his wife, and his watch was taken from him, something that's reportedly worth about $100,000. That sucks. I'm just happy him and his wife are okay. Jesus Christ. So he takes the ball for the Dodgers hours after this, and unfortunately for them, the second inning would not end the way the first did. But a massive part of what went wrong for the Dodgers in this inning was courtesy of the Dodgers. They didn't really help themselves out at all. After a Manny Machado leadoff knock, Jackson Merrill hits one to Freeman at first, who guns to second to get the lead runner out, only for the baseball to hit Machado, who is clearly out of the baseline here. Like, did he not blatantly move in the path of where Freeman was throwing the ball? It worked. It was smart to do by Manny, because why the hell not? not, and it's especially smart if the umpires aren't going to make the call. So that gets all botched up. Then a ground ball gets hit right to Miguel Rojas at short, who tries to beat Merrill to second, only for Merrill to beat him to second, while Xander then beats Rojas' throw to first. So a grounder to Rojas with 2 runners on turns into 0 outs and a run scored for the Padres. Tie game, and it all started unraveling from here. And this Tatis home run that got the crowd losing its freaking mind was when I assumed this was going to be one of those games. The Padres just pummeled the Dodgers and steamrolled to a Game 3 win with a chance to clinch in Game 4, which I also assumed was going to happen. But then the Dodgers were like, hold up, not so fast. 3 straight singles by the Dodgers would begin the third. Freddie Freeman lines out to Profar for out number 1. Michael King then gets Teoscar Hernandez on 2 strikes before deciding to hang him a slider.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Yes, I know King didn't mean to actually hang a slider. I'm just being an asshole. I mean, maybe he did. Probably not. But either way, Teoscar smacked it and immediately knew what he just did, which was hit a grand slam to turn what had just looked like an inevitable blowout into a 1-run game. And he's fired up. The Dodgers needed a wake-up call, something to get them going. This was as good of a way to deliver that message. It's the 3rd inning and the game is already 6-5. 10 of those runs have been scored in the last inning. Both offenses are going nuts, so of course, as everyone would expect, nobody would score for the rest of the damn game. Both King and Buehler ended up finishing 5 innings, and the Dodger bullpen did exactly what they needed to do: shut down the Padres and kept their bats quiet. Unfortunately, the Padres happen to have the best bullpen in baseball. Their general manager, AJ Preller, put Chef Boyardee to shame at the deadline this year when he traded for 3 relievers to add on to an already talented group of arms in the back end of that bullpen. So in a game like this, because of this, the Padres instantly have the advantage, and it showed. 4 pitchers out of the San Diego bullpen would combine to shut the Dodgers down. Jeremiah Estrada, the guy who was ready to throw hands when a beer can was thrown at him and his teammates during Game 2, was someone the Dodgers could do nothing with, especially Max Muncy. Bro gave him pitches in the zone to hit, he just couldn't hit them. Straight heat blowing by, followed by a couple of the trade acquisitions and then the closer. Another guy out of the pen who has a blazing fastball, Robert Suarez, who almost exclusively uses that blazing fastball. He threw it 72% of the time this year, with his sinker and changeup being evenly used but much less. It's pretty interesting how he's able to do that and still be as dominant as he is, to throw the fastball over and over and over and still not really get knocked around much. So here comes Max Muncy to get another steady diet of fastballs. He swings through one, and this is just unfair. It's that rare time I mentioned where Suarez will drop in an off speed, Muncy's way out in front, then completely misses on another high heater. He had no chance that whole at bat, 1 gone. Will Smith wastes no time to ground right into out number 2, and Gavin Lux works a nice at bat, but just like everyone else, is no match for Suarez's fastball or anyone's fastball from the Padres bullpen. See you later, ball game over, and that grand slam by Teoscar Hernandez ends up being the very last thing the Dodgers did in this game. They had 1 base runner the rest of the way, and their backs are against the wall yet again. Ridiculous stuff.